Okay, so I will start now. Now we will move to the CC particle world. Now CC particle world basically is something uh, that generates and simulate particles, and from those particles you can create variety of things. So let's see how it works. First of all, let's make a empty composition by clicking in the new composition button. So I will make a uh, like 1080p part one here. I think this one. Okay, HD TV 1080 24 frame per second. Background I can put black. Okay, now to create the particles, let me flip it up. You need a layer. Now it can be any layer, or it can be a solid layer, it can be any footage layer. But once you will apply the particle world on it, what will happen is that it will cover the whole thing. So it's better to create something like a solid layer, which basically you don't need later on. So I will go to solid, black solid, or whatever color you want, because in the end it will become as it is same. So right now it is dark gray, but as soon I will go to effect, then simulation, and then CC particle world. As soon I will apply CC particle world, that black will, or that gray will become black, or whatever color there is, red or green, it will become black. Now on your screen, if you will notice that I have this, let me minimize all this. Okay, so if I will press spacebar, you can see that it starts generating the particles from the beginning, because this is by default, it gives you this sort of particles here. Now this particle can be changed to anything you want. So let's see in detail how this can be done. Now if I click over here on the particle world name, so you can see that it's a 3D layer, and you can see there are different sort of you can like a axis over here. Okay, and this can be changed once you have a camera. So what you need to do is that you have to go create a new camera. Okay, now if I will go here in the camera settings and roam around, you can see that. Let me do one thing here. Okay, so you can see this is moving. Okay, so now it has become 3D. So you just need a solid camera, like a new 3D camera, just to make it convert into 3D. So this is how it will look like it is in 3D. Now I will make an isometric view of it, so you can see from all the sides. And here now we have first thing in the effects, grid and guide. Now what is the grid and guide? This is the grid, basically the floor. So and which is like divided into few different parts. First, let's see what the position. Position is this blue line. If I will zoom in, okay. Let me do one thing. Let me zoom it from here. So you can see there is a blue line over here, and let's make it half. This blue line is the position. So if I hide the position, it will hide it. Now this circle is the radius. So if I will hide the radius, it will hide this. And motion path, it doesn't show right now, the motion path, right? It will only show when we have the motion path. Actually at this stage we don't have any motion path. Now here is the motion path frames, which is 30, but we don't have any motion path, so we will keep it as it is. Now here I have grid. Now if I hide or unhide the grid, you can see that it will hide and unhide the floor over here. Now grid position is on the floor, or it can be on the producer, or it can be on the world. So I will put it on the floor. Now grid subdivision, right now it is 16, so you will see 16 squares. If I will reduce it, so it will be less. You can increase or decrease. I will keep it as it is to 16. Now grid size can be smaller, can be bigger, up to you. Okay. Now you have horizon axis, axis box which is top, and this is, you can see that, or you can work on. So this is what the grid and guides is. Now here we have birth rate. Now birth rate is what? If you will notice here, let me zoom in a little bit here. Birth rate is the amount on by which it is taking birth. Right now it is 2. So you can see that it is like giving birth to the particles by the rate of 2. If I will decrease it, maybe if I will make it 0.5, you can see the less particles are taking birth. If I will increase it, the maximum is 20. If I will make it 10, so you can see a lot of them are producing. So depending on your need, you can increase the birth. Now next here is the longevity. Longevity is what is the life of your particles. Right now the life of the particle is 1. That means on the rate of 1 second they will stay alive. If I will make it 0.5, so you can see that after 0.5 seconds they die. So you can see less of them. The reason you will see less is that they are producing fine with the rate of 2, but they are dying by the rate of 0.5 seconds. So by the 0.5 seconds they are dying. If I want to have more of their life, I will increase like 3. So now you can see they are taking birth, but they are not dying very quickly. They are dying very late. So let's keep it 1 as it is, and you can see that. Now here you can see there are some yellow particles and there are some red particles. Yellow particles are the ones that are getting birth. They are producing. Red are the ones that are dying. So if I will decrease it 0.5, you can see more are red and less are yellow. But if I will increase it to 3, you will see most of them are yellow, but it's very hard to see the red ones. If I will make it 2, so you can see that more yellow are there and less red are there. But if I keep on decreasing, you can see that they are becoming red and red and red. Okay, so that's what the longevity is, the life of your particle. Now let's see the producer. Now producer is this area which is producing the particle. Now here you will see there is the position of the producer. It can go x-axis here, okay, because x-axis is on this side, so you can see that's moving on the x-axis. Okay, now you can see that this is y. It will go up and down because y is on the top. Okay, now then we have z. Z will go in this one. Okay, so this is how you will get these of the things here. Okay, now the thing is, like, you can change its radius. Okay, so what is the radius here is the size of this producer. So x radius, it will change the size of the x. Y will change upwards. Okay, and z is this. Okay, now I can change all of them together. Like suppose I want something spread it, so I can change all the size. So now you can see that if I will play the animation, so the particles are all the way around. So that's what the radius do. Let's reset this. So now I hope you have understood about the producer. Now let's go to the physics. Now physics, everything related to physics is there. Animation, I have direction axis. What is the direction axis? Uh, Wherever is the direction of this, okay, it will like produce the particle on that direction. Now explosive is the by default. If you will change it to direction axis, it will give you the direction. Now to change the direction, I can go in the direction axis option and I can move around, okay, like the way I want it. And you can see that it is showing the direction over there on the top as well. Okay. Now, other than that, we have cone. What it will do is that it will look like a cone, and cone also you can change its direction the way you want. Okay. And it shows on the top here. Now, cone is like a cone shape. Now we have viscous. Viscous, it does not have a direction, but viscous is like a water fountain. Okay, like it will work like a water with the viscosity. Well, now what is the viscosity? Viscosity is basically thickness of the water. Okay, like if you will increase the viscosity more, so what will happen? It will look like a more thick liquid. Less, it will look like a water. Now we have twirl. So in the twirl, what it do is that you can see that it is twirling, like kind of a twist. It is going in a twisting form. With this, you can make like thunder or sandstorm or those kind of things. Now twirly is same thing, but it's more wide apart. So you can see that from that axis, it is like twirling. Here you can also make something like wide apart or something just like that. Okay, here you have also axis, so you can change the axis. And the way you want it to be. You can just notice here how it is changing. So you can bring it in front or back or whatever. Now if you have seen the movie Doctor Strange, so in the Doctor Strange it like generates something like this in from here from which he goes inside, like it kind of generates like a portal. Okay, so that portal, he goes inside that portal and comes out from somewhere else. So this is how it is generated with these kind of things. So there are many the possibilities you can use this. Now apart from that, you have vortex. Vortex is more like a fire, you can see that. Okay, but it is generating from the top, and you can change its direction. And if you will see the direction, what it is, it's like a black hole, like a hole. You can go inside this. If I will move this here, move it down, so you can see that it's coming in this like direction. Okay, now here we have fire. Now this is interesting, you can create fire through this. Okay, jet sideways is like like if you want to create a water uh, like sort of a like splashing, like if you are on a jet ski or a boat and the water is like siding. Then you have practical omni, so it will generate just like this on the side. And practical uni, it will be only one side. So practical omni, it will give more practical like sort of like the particles, okay, like from all the sides, omnidirectional. And practical uni, it's like one direction and it's going upwards or downwards or whatever direction you want to give it to it. Okay, so it's like mixed. Now after that, let's see what we have here. Now we have here the velocity. Now what is the velocity? The speed. Right now if you will see that this is the speed, actual speed is just like this. Now if I will reduce the speed to 0.1, for example, so you will see that it is generating just like this, okay, with a 0.1 velocity speed. good for water fount, like waterfall or those kind of things here. If I will change it to suppose 5, you can see that it is too fast. It's almost like star warp or those kind of things. So that's the speed. Now inherent velocity is what it does is that suppose if I increase it to 3, inherent velocity, if you just see how the like velocity 3 looks like. Okay, now if I will change the inherent velocity percent to 3 and then view this, so what it do is that whatever particles are connected to this particle, they will inherit the 3% velocity from here. Okay, so it's for that purpose. Now here we have gravity. Now gravity is the force that is pulling it downwards. Right now gravity is 0.5. Now if I will increase it to 0.1, so you will see that it's not pulling towards the ground as much. It's just in the air. It's just generating in the air. And if I will go back here in the gravity and change it to more like 3 maybe suppose, so you can see that it is more pulling downward. Okay, and then you can mix and match. Suppose if I will now increase the velocity here and also increase the gravity, so you will see fast generating particles but falling down because of the gravity. Okay, but if I will reduce the velocity to something like that, and then you can see that like there is a huge gravity there, and this sort of a result you will get. Let me reset this. Now like there is a resistance, it's an air resistance, any more like disturbance in the air. So if I will increase it, you can see that the resistance is more going towards this area. So it will only stay in that area, okay, because there is no resistance there. Now if I will decrease it, okay, so you can see that a less sort of a resistance is there. Sorry, increasing means like you're introducing resistance. Decreasing means you're like removing or detecting the resistance, the power there. Now here we have extras. Now extra here, I'm not sure what it does. That maybe it's if you're connecting something over here, maybe for that purpose. Now here we have floor. Now floor position you can change to whatever you want. Okay, it's totally up to you. Then particle visibility, you want it to be after the floor. So what will happen? It will show on after the floor. Now if I will move like play this, so you can see that it is generating after the floor, not above the floor. Just look at this. So in this case, what I can do, I can move the floor maybe up on the top. So obviously it is after the floor, so it will show after the floor. Okay, and then I can have particle visibility above the floor, so it will only show the particles that are generated above the floor and nothing below the floor will be shown. Now here we have floor action. Do you want the particle to bounce, or you want them to slide, or you want them to stick? So you have, if you want to slide the particles, use ice. Okay, so if I will move this, so you can see that whatever is falling, let me make it all, so you can see that they are sliding on the ground. When they hit the ground, they slide. Okay, now if I want to make it sticky, so I will change it to blue. So when they will hit the ground, they will kind of stick to the ground. Okay, after that we have bounce. So when you click, like when you play, so you can see that particles that are falling are bouncing. So I can make it bounciness more random, more spread it, more bouncy. It's up to you for the changes here. Now render animation, do you want to reflect it on the floor? So you can only choose the reflection. So it will show only the reflection. projected on the floor, so they will be only projecting on the floor like a map on the floor, or normal, so it will be a normal. So this is how you can generate all these things. Now here I have gravity vector. Now gravity vector is for the like the gravity like direction. You want more gravity on the other side, so what will happen? It will look like there is something which is pulling from this side as well. Okay, or you want 100%. You don't want anything on the floor, like, and no gravity on the floor. You want the gravity over here on this side, so you can see that gravity only on is pulling like towards there. So you can make explosion or you can make smoke. These kind of things you can create. You can increase the gravity on the other side, so it will look like this. So you can change the direction of the gravity. So this is all about the physics. Now particle itself. Now there are different kind of particles. Now here we have star. It will produce stars. We have shaded spheres, faded spheres, darkened faded spheres, bubble, motion polygons, motion squares, tripolygon, quad polygons. Then we have texture tripolygon. Now texture, we have texture tripolygon, texture quad polygon, and we have textures disk, texture disk here, texture faded disk. So let's see what is the texture here. Okay, so if I will go here and choose suppose texture tripolygon, okay, or maybe quad polygon. So what it will do is that it will look for the texture. Okay, now how we can get the texture here? Again, go to one of the option here. What's the texture? Yeah, here. Okay, now there is no layer here, so let me bring up the like a project here, like a texture file here. Let's see. Okay, so there is an image here of this cloud, but this cloud has a black background. If I will hide this, you can see the black background. So what I can do, I can duplicate this. Let me hide this black the background right now just to show you. I'll make a duplicate copy of this one and use a Luma matte here. Okay, so it will make a cloud without a border. So I will select both of these layers, pre-compose them so they will be inside one, and I will call this smoke. It's not a cloud, it's a smoke. Then I can turn this on. Now I will go back to my here to my dark my particle, and then in the texture I will choose smoke. Okay, now you can see the smoke is generating here, but it is too small. So what I can do here is that I can do some changes here. Let's see if there is texture square is better. I think this is better. Now I can go in the particles bud size, and I can increase the size of this. So you can see that it is generating the smoke, the texture, but it does not look that good because of the gravity. The gravity is pulling it. So what I can do here is that I can go to my producer here, sorry, physics here, and reduce the gravity to 0. So it can go in only in one direction. Okay, and some changes here I can also do, like maybe opacity, maximum opacity, I can make it 10. And it will look like this. Let me hide the original smoke. Okay, so you can create a lot of things with this, with the help of the particle. I can use any image over here. I can use a text basically. Suppose I will just go here, write a text. Change its size fit to comp, put it down, go back here. Now in the texture, what I can do here is that instead of the previous one, I can choose AE, hide this, and the bird size is too much because I changed it last 250, 450 is too small. And maximum opacity back to 70. And you can see that. I think if we increase the size of the producer, you can see much more better what it is doing. Let me change the size of the text a bit and also move it to the other side. Okay, much more clear. So you can see that. You can create something like that. Okay, and you can turn on the motion blur just to give a motion blur touch to it. So different kind of things you can do with this. Let me close all these. Okay, so you have here tetrahedron, you have here cube, okay, then lens bubble, then you have textured square. So what it will do is that it will keep it in like a in one direction. It's not 3D. Okay, it will be in a square form. And if you want disk, so what will happen, it will be like a circle. Each one of them will be act like a circle. You can see that it's in a circular mask. Textured faded disk, so you can see something like this. So nice backgrounds you can create with this, with the help of this. This is what the particles you have here. Okay, now suppose if I will go to the shaded sphere or line or something, let's go to the line. Okay, and I will go back here. Now texture will not work on line. So in the producer, let's reset everything here. Now in the line we have like 75% opacity here. Okay, and if I will change to star, you can see that star have the bird size and everything. Let's make it shaded sphere so we can have more stuff. So here we have birth size by like when they are like producing, so maybe their size is 1, so they are bigger, but when they are dying, they are becoming smaller, even more smaller, 0. Okay, size variation, maybe you don't want it to be all the way big, so if you will give 100% variation, so 100% there will be variation there, some will be big, some will be small. And here you can add a volume to it because it's shaded, so you can add less or more volume. And this is like composite. Suppose I have a background here, and if I want to make a screen composite, add composite, or blacken, so you can choose any one of these composite style over here. So each one of them will have a different settings here. Now rotation speed, and this one is ideal if you're using something 3D. Okay, for example, if I'm using a cube, you have here rotation speed, how fast you want to rotate it. Okay, initial rotation 360 degrees you only want to rotate, or maybe I will say okay 90 degrees rotate, so it will not like rotate all the way. So you can see that it's like halfway it is rotating and then it is jumping around. The rotation speed is this, birth size, any axis on, I only want to rotate it on the x-axis, so now they will only rotate on the x-axis. So this is how you can create things with that. Now let's do one thing here. Let's reset the whole thing and create a rain. I will remove the camera here for now, and let's create a rain here. In the rain, first of all, let's see, I will go to the birth rate. This is fine, birth rate, longevity is fine for now. Later we will see. Now position, I want it to be on the top because the rain usually comes from top. So here is your producer. You have to keep your eye on this one, this circle. This have to be on the top. Okay, now it's there. Now I will increase the x-axis. I will increase the y-axis, and I will increase the y-axis. I will not increase. Let's put this something 0.2 z-axis. Okay, and then if I will play it, you can see that rain is falling just like this. Now one thing is that my animation doesn't start from the beginning. It starts a little bit late. So what you can do, you can slide this, you know, somewhere here and increase the size of it. So it will start from here. Now notice that when it reaches to this area, it dies very quickly. Rain is not like that. So I have to go to the longevity, increase the longevity all the way here. Okay, so that is fine. Now rain is not of this sort of a color, it's kind of a bluish color, so I can go in the particle, okay, and I can increase this to bluish and this one to dark bluish. This is too light, so maybe something like that. Okay, and maximum opacity same is fine. Now in physics, if you want heavy rain, increase the gravity. Faster rain, increase the velocity. So it's up to you. So if suppose if I will make it 0.5 and then look at it, you can see that it is a little slow. The rain is a little slow. Now if I will maybe 0 velocity, so you can see that it's very smooth. But if I increase the velocity to maybe 5, you can see that it has speeded up. But what it do is that it doesn't, you know, it keeps it smoother. That's a good thing about it, the velocity. However, if I'll keep it 1, and if I will change the gravity from 0.5 to 5, then you will notice that it is fast. So its gravity is that which will it which will increase the intensity of your rain. It will create it more stronger. It will make it more stronger. I don't want that. I just want to keep it as it is. Okay. Now let's put a like a video behind here. Let me find some videos here. And I can put it underneath. Now this rain is too intense, so I will go to the rain, reduce its opacity, and also I will, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Now to give it a touch, what I can do, I can go to the footage, go to my color correction, sorry, adjustment layer, new adjustment. Okay, and then color correction, uh, curves, make it a little darker. Then go to blue, give it a blue, little bit bluish tint. Then reduce the red, reduce the green a bit. And overall, I will do something like this. Only 2 points, so I'll get 1 point back. Now I will add hue and saturation here, and I will reduce the saturation. Okay. Now if you want this thing to affect the rain, so you can put it completely on the top, but I don't want it to affect the rain. I will keep it down. Okay, so you can see that how you can create such sort of rain effect here. By the way, if I hide this one and go back here in the effect and simulation, there is already a rain effect, rainfall effect here, which automatically gives you the rain. So you can see that it has produced the rain automatically. I increase the opacity so you can see that. Okay. So you can increase the crop size and everything, wind, speed. Other than that, you have in the effect simulation, snowfall. So it will give you snowfall effect. Increase the opacity here. Size, I will increase it more. So you can see there is a snow going on. The size is a little smaller. Let me increase the size of the layer itself. Okay, so now you can see the snow is falling there. Okay. Now one thing here is that there are many effects and it is not possible to teach all of these effects. Some of them are the third party, like the red giant one. You might not have this, you have to separately download them, so ignore these ones. But there are a lot here. In simulation and in generate you have really good ones. So if you go to simulation, you have so many different ones. Try them all. Okay. And in generate, if I will go, so there are some good one over here as well. So there is a light burst, light rays. Try them. Some of them work on a solid layer. Some of them only work on the like a text. Some of them only works on uh, images. Some of them work on the anything which have black or like a transparent background. So it depends. So try them on different things. And there is an advanced lightning here. So if I click on the advanced lightning, it can generate a lightning. Okay. So you can change the direction of the lightning, whatever you want. So I have different kind of lightning here. And I can animate the lightning. Suppose if I move this here, so you can see that. How this is affecting, okay? And maybe in this one, in the beginning one, I can take the direction, move the direction all the way up. And in this one, I will move the direction all the way down. So it will look like this. Okay, let me remove these here. And then you can see that it will generate like this. This is how you can make the lightning. So many things are there. Try all of them, and you can increase the fork here, decay. So many different like changing or like changes you can do that. Core glow, you can make it more glowy. More forky, you can make it. Less forky, you can make it. Then you have expert settings. You can increase the complexity of it. And this thing can be animated too. This code drain. So what I can do here in the beginning, I can make the core lesser and here more, so it will look like this. Okay, you can see that how it is generating. You can speed it up by moving this. Okay, so a lot of things you can do here with the particle effects, with the effects already inside your After Effects. Okay, So this is how the things usually works in the After Effects. Just try all of these effects, see which one you can use. Okay, so this is all about it. So let's move to the blackboard. This was basically your last class of the visual effects, and check throughout what we have done so far from the first class to the last class, see what the possibilities you have. So now let's move to the blackboard. Okay, so I will end the screen now as and this was the last class, and we are done with the visual effects using After Effects.